Okay. So diarrhea means Latin. What is the meaning of diarrhea? Anybody? In Latin, what is diarrhea? Anybody? So diarrhea means it is to flow, to flow. Okay. So Latin is meaning as to flow. So what are all the causes for diarrhea in pediatric age group? Anybody?
Rotavirus.
Viral infection.
So you can classify in this bacterial diarrhea, viral diarrhea, then protozoal diarrhea. Okay. So in bacterial diarrheas, any examples for bacterial diarrheas?
Rotavirus.
Bacterial diarrhea. I'm asking
Oh,
the
bacterial.
Giardia.
yeah.
E. coli. E. coli. E. coli.
Very good, very good. E. coli. Then most commonly Shigella, Shigellosis, Shigella dysentery, Shigella, E. coli, and any other bacterial diarrheas?
Typhoid.
Vibrio cholera.
Salmonella, yeah, good. So typhoid also, salmonellosis. Okay, then
Vibrio.
Cholera. So the most ancient cause for diarrhea is cholera, Vibrio cholera. Salmonella, salmonellosis, Vibrio cholera, Shigellosis, E. coli. These are some examples for bacterial diarrheas. Okay. So what are all the causes for viral diarrheas in children? Commonest cause for viral diarrhea in children?
Rota.
So first is rotaviral diarrhea. Any other viruses?
Enterovirus.
Enterovirus, okay. Any other viruses?
Adenovirus.
Yeah, good. Adenovirus, rotavirus first, adenovirus, then calciviruses, astroviruses. These are all the common acute viral diarrheas. Even HIV and all immunocompromised state, you can get diarrheas. That is different topic. So in acute diarrheas, most common viral etiologies are probably rotavirus, calcivirus, astrovirus, adenovirus. Okay. What will anybody enumerate the causes for protozoal diarrhea?
Entamoeba.
Yeah, good. Entamoeba histolytica, then
Giardia.
giardiasis. Okay. These are the two most common protozoal diarrheas. Okay, so the today's topic is diarrheal illness in children bar IMNCI. So anybody expand the IMNCI? What is IMNCI? What is IMNCI? IMNCI.
Integrated management of neonatal and childhood illness.
Very good. Integrated management of neonatal and childhood illness. Originally, it was started as integrated management of childhood illnesses. Then newborn is included later. Okay. So some 5 or 6 common problems they will address in IMNCI, like fever, like convulsions, like respiratory infections in the form of pneumonia, like diarrhea, okay, like malaria. So 5 or 6. Then newborn they include jaundice. Okay. So why they are giving more importance to this programs? This is one of the program. IMNCA is a program by Government of India. Okay. So why they are giving so much importance to this diarrheal management and respiratory illness management by calling this term and programming? What is the reason for that? Is any
High mortality rate.
yeah. So in diarrhea, if it is left untreated, it will end up in severe dehydration, shock, death. So one of the most common preventable disease or treatable disease in children is diarrheal illnesses. In even India, in rural areas, so many children is dying of diarrheal illnesses. This is a very sad state of affairs. So only they are bringing this program. So IMNCA program. So IMNCA for initially it's programmed for the rural health workers, village health nurses. So they will pick the danger signs, then they will refer the child to the nearby health facility. Okay. After giving the preliminary treatment in the form of ORS, like some oral antibiotics and all. Okay. So anybody knows the classification for diarrhea in IMNCA? how they classified into IMNC. So your first definition of diarrhea, meaning of diarrhea, causes of diarrhea, bacterial, viral, protozoal. This is the basic information you should know before going to the main program. So in IMNC, how they classifying for diarrhea?
No dehydration, and severe dehydration.
No dehydration, some dehydration, and severe dehydration. So AG with no dehydration, AG with some dehydration, AG with severe dehydration. How they are classified as no dehydration and some dehydration, severe dehydration. So there is some signs there. What are all the signs should look for any in children presenting with diarrhea, in any child presenting with diarrhea? What are all the dehydration signs? So the
Sunken eyes.
child is having diarrhea, losing electrolytes, everything in the water, in the stools. So they are going to dehydrated. So what are all the signs you will look for in for dehydration in children from head to toe, head to foot? So in IMNCA, they taken some 4 points. Okay, general condition. So in general condition, what is the sign they are looking for?
Active or alert.
Alert.
Lethargy, irritability.
Lethargy or unconsciousness. That is one group. Or child is restless or irritable. Okay. So lethargy or the next. First is general condition. They are looking for first. In general condition, you look for lethargy or unconsciousness. Another point is restless or irritable. The two separate groups. Okay. Then next point is sunken eyes. Okay. Next.
Tongue moist or dry.
These are all the dehydration signs. Even the many dehydration signs there, but IMNC they took some 4 signs only. According to only they are classifying.
Skin pinch test.
Good. First is general condition. Second is eye sunkening. Then skin pinch, elastability of skin. Okay, skin pinch. Okay. Then fourth sign is
Thirst.
Thirst. Okay. How the child is thirsty, whether the child is thirsty or not able to drink water or ORS or poorly drinking. So these are the 4 signs they are taking into account to classify dehydration into no dehydration, some dehydration, and severe dehydration. Anyone to summarize these things for all 4 signs of dehydration? The IMNC looking into in any child diarrhea. Anyone? One. Anyone summarize all these 4 signs again? Hello?
Sir, general condition.
Yeah.
Next, thirsty or unable to drink water.
In general condition, what they are looking? What they are looking?
No dehydration is active alert. Some dehydration is irritable. Severe dehydration is lethargy, unconsciousness. And in sunken eyes, severe dehydration, there will be sunken eyes, sir. Then ability to drink water. The no dehydration child will eagerly drink water. Some dehydration will be thirsty and eager to drink water. And severe dehydration, unable to drink water. In last
unable to drink water or poorly drinks the water.
Okay, sir. The last one is skin pinch test. No dehydration, skin rapidly recoils. Some dehydration
immediately. There means immediately. Yeah.
Some dehydration a little bit slow. Severe dehydration takes more than 2 seconds to recoil.
So severe dehydration very slow going of skin pinch.
Yes.
So more than 2 seconds. Okay. So all these to classify no dehydration, some dehydration, severe dehydration, all these signs you must, or at least 1 or 2 or must, or 3 must. All 4 must. So to classify dehydration, at least 2 signs of all the 4 mentioned. Okay, at least 2. 2 is enough. So need not be present. All the dehydrations may not be present. Okay. So at least 2 of the 4. So 4 is general condition in the form of lethargy or unconsciousness or restless or irritable. Then eye shunkening, then skin turgor. 4th is thirst. Okay. So at least 2 signs. Okay. So no dehydration, some dehydration, severe dehydration. Okay. So in any pediatric age group, IMNCI, before going into examine the disease proper, they are looking for some general danger signs. So what are all the any child with any illness in the form of diarrhea, in the form of fever, in the form of convulsions, in the form of any disease, malaria, before going into disease proper eliciting signs, they are looking for some general danger signs. What are all the general danger signs you look for in any child with illnesses?
Refusal of feeds.
Good, very good. Refusal of feeds. Then
Convulsions.
convulsions. Good. Second, okay. Then third one.
Unconscious.
Yeah, lethargy or unconsciousness. Then fourth one.
Severe malnutrition, sir.
No. It's a diarrhea. It's a disease entity. It is vomiting everything. So these are all the general or 4 danger signs should look into any child presenting with any illness in the form of diarrhea, respiratory illness, or meningitis. Any child presenting with any illness, you look for general danger signs, all 4 general danger signs. Okay. Then you go to the disease proper. In this case, diarrhea, you are looking for dehydration signs. So what are all the other dehydration signs other than IMNCI looking for? Somebody told already, no? Other danger signs for other dehydration signs in any child with diarrhea other than IMNCI looking for it.
Tongue will be dry, sir.
Yeah, tongue dry. Okay, mucous membranes, dryness of mucous membranes in the form of tongue moist is less or dry tongue, or tears will be there will not be any tears, or any child having anterior fontanelle will be in severe dehydration or some dehydration, they will be depressed. So depressed anterior fontanelle, or any other thing.
Urine output will be less.
Very good. Urine output, less urine output. Then in response to dehydration, they will having initially tachycardia. In shock, initially they will tachycardia, then followed by bradycardia. Okay. Then followed by hypotension, arrest, death. Okay, this is the sequence. Okay. Then, so you identify the what is disease, what are the cause for the diarrhea, bacterial, viral, protozoal. So what is the general classification of diarrhea in children by IMNCI? Any child presenting with diarrhea, how they are categorized? 3 categories. One is acute diarrhea. They are presenting with acute diarrhea. One is probably viral diarrhea. Then second one is blood-stained stools. That is dysentery, second category. Then third category is any diarrhea presenting more than 14 days. That is persistent diarrhea. This is the general categorization of diarrhea by IMNCI in any child. Okay. So anybody summarize this thing? So what is general categorization of diarrhea in children by IMNCI? What is 3 categorization? Acute diarrhea, followed by
Dysentery and
dysentery, acute dysentery, bloody diarrhea. Then third one is any
persistent
diarrhea presenting more than 14 days. It is called persistent diarrhea. So these are all the 3 things, general categorization. Okay. Then followed by dehydration signs, no dehydration, some dehydration, severe dehydration. Okay. So how do you manage? So you find out the disease by classifying it. So how do you manage? For AG, so what are all the plan? What is plan A? What is plan B? Plan C? So 3 plans they are advocating. So plan A for no dehydration. Plan B for some dehydration. Plan C for severe dehydration. What is plan A? Plan A means no dehydration. What is plan A? Anybody?
Treatment at
Sir,
home.
giving ORS after
Homemade.
every stools.
Okay, homemade treatments. So the child having no dehydration, so only they are presenting with diarrhea. So the home treatment in the form of homemade fluids plus ORS. Okay. Okay. What are all the homemade fluids you know?
Salt and sugar solutions. Sir.
Okay, good. Okay, then ordinary boiled cooled water. Okay, water, then salt and sugar solutions, then rice kanji, then see what are all the homemade therapies practiced in rural areas, but that is not advised. Many times they are giving tea, okay, excessive glucose water. These are all should be discouraged. Tea, glucose water, honey, pure honey. These are all practiced in rural areas, so this should not be given. Okay. So homemade therapy, homemade fluids with ORS. How much ORS? In for no dehydration. So the ORS, oral dehydration solution for homemade therapy, home therapy plan A is 10 ml per kg per stools. So the child passes stools, then you get 10 ml per kg ORS through the oral route. Okay. So some no dehydration child you should watch for carefully. Okay. Anytime if you are not treating properly of no dehydration child, then they will end up in the either in some dehydration or in severe dehydration or shock. Okay. So no dehydration means ரொம்ப simple அப்படின்னு விட்டுறக்கூடாது. Okay. So you're more careful in treating the no dehydration child. Okay. So homemade fluids plus ORS 10 ml per kg per loose stools. Okay. Okay. Then some dehydration. So two of the dehydration signs present. So what are the some, how do you treat the some dehydration? Anybody? So in some dehydration, this still only ORS, but it is in hospital facility. It's a plan B. The child should be referred to the hospital facility in OPD. You can observe the child for 4 hours. So initially you will give the 75 ml per kg of ORS over 4 hours. 75 ml per kg of ORS over 4 hours through oral. Or if the child is vomiting, you will put the NG tube, then you give the ORS, then observe for 4 hours. After 4 hours, should assess again dehydration. If the child falls into no dehydration category, you advise the child, advise the parent to discharge the child and give the homemade fluids and ORS in home. If the dehydration is not improved or further worsening into the severe dehydration, then you have to switch over to the plan C. So what is the treatment of plan C or severe dehydration? Anybody?
IV fluids.
So okay. So IV fluid is the treatment of choice for severe dehydration. Severe dehydration means they are lethargic or unconscious, skin turgor, goes very slowly, they are not at all drinking or poorly drinking. Okay. So you will admit the child to start on IV fluids. So what are all the IV fluids available? Anybody knows? Any IV fluids name for diarrhea?
Linger lactate.
Okay. So linger lactate is a commonly linger lactate is a commonly used solution, or normal saline also can be used. Okay. What is the dose?
100 ml per kg, sir.
Okay. 100 ml per kg over
Divided into 30 ml.
6 hours divided into 6 hours and 3 hours based on less than 1 year and more than 1 year.
Okay, less than 1 year means how much? More than 1 year means how much? 30, 70. That's all. Dividing
yes.
into 30, 70. Okay, less than 1 year, how much? More than 1 year, how much duration?
6 hours for less than 1 year, more than 1 year, 3 hours.
No, 30 ml per kg, how many hours? And 70 ml per kg, how many hours for the child
30
less than 1
ml,
year?
30 ml per kg for 1 hour, 70 ml per kg for 5 hours. For
5
less
hours.
than 1 year, sir.
1 year. More than 1 year?
30 ml per kg for half an hour, 70
Half an
ml
hour.
per kg for 2.5 hours.
Oh, okay, good. So this is IV fluid therapy for severe dehydration. Okay, child presenting with shock. Shock means this is severe dehydration. Sometimes they will present with hypovolemic shock. Shock has varied etiology like septic shock, cardiogenic shock, hypovolemic shock. Okay, hypovolemic shock means fluids loss that leads to hypovolemia. It leads to shock. So when the child presenting with shock in the form of capillary refill time more than 2 seconds, or color peripherals are cool peripheries, pulses are weak, peripheral pulses are weak. Instead of 2 plus, they are becoming 1 plus or 0, or BP is low, hypotensive. These are all shock signs. So that time you have to give the fluids very fastly. Okay, either RL or NS 20 ml per kg over 20 minutes. The child presenting with shock, you will give the fluid, you have to rush the fluids in the form of RL or NS 20 ml per kg over 20 minutes. Okay. So IMNCA doesn't bother about shock and all. They will usually no dehydration, some dehydration, severe dehydration treatment only. Okay. But all the shock present, you have to manage, give the fluids very fast, the form of RL or NS 20 ml per kg over 20 minutes. Okay. So this is the etiology, dehydration signs, categorization of diarrhea by IMNCA, treatment protocols, plan A, plan B, plan C. Okay. So what are all the preventive modalities for diarrhea in children? This is we discussed this treatment modalities to diagnose the disease by some signs and classify into some severe dehydration. According to we are giving treatment. How do you prevent diarrhea in children? What are all the methods available to prevent diarrhea in children?
Vaccination.
Okay. What is the vaccination?
Rotavirus.
Okay. So only the diarrheal vaccine available is rotavirus. Any other vaccine available, for diarrhea? Cholera also available. Okay. Cholera also vaccination available. Okay. So one of the strategies, vaccination for rotavirus. So what is the route of transmission of rotavirus?
Fecal-oral route.
Okay, fecal-oral route. So poor sanitation or poor hand hygiene is a cause for rotavirus diarrhea. Then how? If you improve your hand hygiene practices or sanitation practices, you can prevent by rotavirus vaccination, right? Why the vaccination? By only improving the sanitation, hand hygiene practices, we can prevent the rotavirus diarrhea. Then why the vaccinations are available? What is the reason? Anybody?
Non-compliance.
Non-compliance, okay. Other mode of route of transmission of rotavirus, or what is the other mode of transmission? Rotavirus, other than fecal-oral route. So aerosol transmission also available. Okay, for possible for rotavirus diarrhea, rotavirus. Okay, so just because improving the hand hygiene and sanitation alone is not sufficient to prevent the rotaviral diarrhea. So then that means the vaccinations come into play. So rotaviral vaccines available, 2 rotaviral vaccines available. Okay, so anybody knows the schedule? Rotavirus vaccination they are giving in Government of India schedule also. Okay, initially it's first it's available only in the private market. Now it is routine immunization schedule also we are giving rotavirus vaccination. What is any schedule you know for national immunization schedule for rotavirus vaccination?
Sir,
Okay,
6,
go and read.
10, 14, sir.
16, 14.
6, 10, 14. So okay, go and read. Okay, rotavirus vaccination schedule in national immunization schedule. Okay, what are all the other preventive strategies to prevent diarrhea in children other than rotavirus vaccination?
Sir, proper nutrition.
Okay, proper nutrition means exactly the proper, appropriate, complementary feeding techniques. Okay, what is complementary feeding? What is complementary feeding?
Other than breast milk, any feeding.
Okay. So previously it was called weaning. So the weaning is replaced by complementary feeding. At the end of 6 months, up to 6 months, we are advocating, WHO advocating exclusive breastfeeds for children. After that, along with breast milk, you have to start the foods. That is called complementary feeding. So the proper, appropriate complementary feeding techniques. Okay. So many times they will start before 6 months, even 3 months, they will start foods in peripherals, rural areas. Okay. Otherwise, in some areas, they will not start the complementary feeding at 6 months, at the end of 6 months. They will start at 9 months. Okay. So proper, appropriate complementary feeding. Then they are giving complementary feeding at 6 months, at the end of 6 months, but they are not giving properly. Like poor preparation of feeding materials. Okay. So ensuring appropriate complementary feeding practices will prevent the diarrhea. So one is vaccination, two is proper complementary feeding practices, then promoting exclusive breastfeeding. Okay. So first up to 6 months. So other than breast milk, not even water is recommended for babies. So exclusive. So prevention is first is exclusive breastfeeding, then appropriate complementary feeding practices. Third is rotavirus vaccination. Okay. So along with the diarrheal treatment, like you are giving IV fluids, ORS, everything. What are all the other medicines available? Any other drugs available to treat diarrhea in children?
Zinc supplementation.
Okay. So in the Asian populations, many children, many adults are deficient of zinc. Zinc is one of the reason for poor immunological memory, then leads to many symptoms and signs in the form of alopecia, poor immunity, diarrheal illnesses, malnutrition. So zinc. Okay. So zinc supplementation. So okay. So what is the dose for zinc for any child presenting with diarrhea? The duration?
Sir, 10 ml.
Duration for 14 days, sir.
Okay. 14 days. 10 to 14 days. Okay. More than 6 months, it is 20 milligram of zinc. Less than 6 months, it is 10 milligram of zinc. Okay. Go and read how the zinc reduces the duration of diarrhea in children. So what are the mechanism of zinc to reduce the duration of diarrhea? So 4 or 5 theories are there. Go and read. Okay. So zinc supplementation. Okay. Any other thing? Any
Vitamin
other thing
A.
for acute diarrheal management? Okay. Vitamin A supplementation. Okay. Okay. Good. Any other thing? Any measles children? They're prone for diarrhea. So we'll give the vitamin A. Okay. Generally, we advise probiotics.
Antibiotics in case of.
No. I will come to later. Antibiotics. So for rotaviral diarrhea, strictly no antibiotics. Okay. Strictly no antibiotics. Okay. So any other things? Zinc. Probiotics. What is probiotics? Probiotics. Anybody heard of probiotics? Prebiotics?
They are normal flora.
Gut flora. Commensals. Okay. Gut floras. So most commonly in diarrheal episodes, they are giving lactobacillus. Okay. lactobacillus probiotics for short duration, 3 days. Okay. Okay. So, ORS, so any child presenting with your OPD, you are in clinic, should not forget write zinc, ORS, then probiotics. All three must in prescription. Okay. Should not write antibiotic for any child present with acute diarrheal diseases without fever or without blood in stools. There is no role of antibiotics in rotaviral diarrhea. Okay. So what are all the indications for antibiotics in diarrhea? Now tell me, what are the
In
indications
case of
for dysentery? Okay, any child presenting with acute dysentery. Dysentery means child presenting with blood in stools, mucus in stools, fever, plus tenesmus or pain during defecation. If there is sign is present, so or blood, at least blood in stools. This is called acute dysentery. So we'll give the prescribe the antibiotics. Then
Cholera.
okay, good. Cholera. So bacterial diarrhea, we will prescribe antibiotics. Okay, then what are other indications for antibiotics?
Immunocompromised, sir.
Okay, good. Any children with diarrhea in immunocompromised state, you will prescribe generally antibiotics. Like SAM children, any SAM children presenting with diarrhea also will give the antibiotics. Okay. Then protozoal diarrhea. For amoebiasis, we will give metronidazole. Giardiasis also will give metronidazole. These are all the common indicators for antibiotics in diarrhea. What are all the commonly used antibiotics in diarrhea for dysentery?
Third generation cephalosporin.
First you should know what is WHO recommendation for dysentery management in children. So what antibiotics they are prescribing?
Ciprofloxacin.
So either good, very good. So either they are prescribing ciprofloxacin 20 to 30 milligram per kg per day, or ceftriaxone, third generation ceftriaxone, 80 to 100 milligram per kg per day, or 75 milligram per kg per day, OD. Okay, for 3 days. 3 days. Okay, so ciprofloxacin or ceftriaxone. Okay. Other questions asked in the diarrhea is prevention, we already dealt. Etiology, classification, prevention. So any investigations you want to know? You want to do in any child with acute diarrhea? So any child presenting with stool culture, but you should not tell that. I'm expecting this answer. Okay, stool culture is not at all mandatory. Okay, in acute diarrheal diarrhea, acute disease, diarrheal disease in children, probably due to rotaviral, stool culture is not recommended. Okay, only in persistent diarrhea, they will do the stool culture, or chronic diarrhea, that is separate entity, they will do the stool culture. So what are all the complications you will expect in any child presenting with diarrhea?
Acidosis, sir.
So severe dehydration leads to acidosis. That acidosis is uncorrected. That leads to myocardial depression, arrest, death. Okay. Okay. What are any other complications? They will prone for, so in diarrheal stools, what are all the electrolytes are lost? Sodium, potassium, bicarbonate, chloride, everything is lost. So they prone for hyponatremia. Okay. Hypokalemia. So potassium also will be also lost. So hypokalemia or hyponatremia. So this will produce, hyponatremia will produce seizures, convulsions. Okay. Hypokalemia will produce cardiac rhythm disturbances or flappy neck. Neck holding will be lost, or abdomen is distended. Hypokalemia leads to paralytic ileus. Okay, so metabolic complications. Then you will lose the bicarbonate, so leads to acidosis. Okay. Any other complications other than seizures, shock, acidosis, metabolic complications, hyponatremia, hypokalemia, acidosis? Any other complications? Any in bacterial diarrhea? Any Shigella diarrhea? They will present with unconsciousness, seizures. They will leads to encephalopathy. Shigella encephalopathy. Okay. Then, so diarrhea, it leads to dehydration. So it leads to thrombosis. Which thrombosis? Cortical venous thrombosis. These are some of the complications of diarrheal illnesses. Okay. So anybody tell the components of oral dehydration solution. How do you prepare the oral dehydration solution? ORS. Anybody? So diarrheal stool will having potassium loss, sodium loss, bicarbonate loss, chloride loss. So automatically this ORS should contain all these things. Okay. So normal WHO, World Health Organization ORS osmolality. What is the osmolality of normal WHO ORS? Is 245 milliosmol. This is a low osmolar ORS. It is only prescribed nowadays. Okay. So 245 milliosmoles. This is a normal osmolality of WHO ORS. So it contains how much sodium?
75 millimoles.
75 milliequivalents of sodium. Then
Glucose also same, sir. Sodium and glucose.
75 grams of glucose. Then
65
chloride
of
is 65. Chloride is 65.
Chloride
Potassium
65. Yeah. Chloride is 64 milliequivalents of chloride plus
potassium 20.
Potassium 20 citrate.
good. 20 milliequivalents of potassium. Okay. So definitely in exams they will ask components of ORS. Then how do you prepare it? So in powders, in powder form, it is a powder in packet is available. So this is osmolality, is low osmolar ORS. It is 245 milliosmoles. How do it's a powder form? How do you prepare it? ORS solution.
One packet in 1 liter.
Okay. So one packet should be dissolved in 1 liter of boiled and cooled water. Okay, generally it's advisable. Okay, 1 liter of water, boiled cooled water. So to mix it, to ready prepare it, then how do you give the ORS? So any child with rotaviral diarrhea or diarrhea, they will presenting with initially low-grade fever, then followed by afebrile period, then diarrheal episode, low-grade fever, followed by runny nose, sneezy nose, plus loose stools. Before loose stools, they will have vomiting. Okay, it's a rotaviral diarrhea. Initially, they will present with respiratory symptoms, low-grade fever, followed by vomiting, followed by diarrhea. Okay. So vomiting, they will have severe vomiting. So ORS, most disadvantage of giving ORS is ORS taste is not good. Okay. The palatability is issue for ORS. So ORS itself induces vomiting in children. They are very reluctant to take ORS, bland ORS. Okay. In markets, in private markets, the available many ORS packets available, but that should not be given. Okay. So the child with diarrhea presenting with vomiting means to give the first, what is anti-emetic agents recommended for any child with vomiting with diarrhea with vomiting? Anti-emetic agents. What are all the anti-emetic agents you know? Anti-emetic agents. Domperidone, metoclopramide, and ondansetron. So you should only use ondansetron. You should not use domperidone. You should not use metoclopramide. Okay. You only use ondansetron. Okay, 0.2 milligram per kg per dose. To give the initially either IV in child very sick, shock or severe dehydration, will already secure the IV line. Probably will give the IV ondansetron. Or some moderate dehydration, you will have Oral. So oral ondansetron tablet or syrup. First give the oral ondansetron syrup or tablet. Then prepared ORS. How do you give? How do you advise a mother to give the ORS? Either teaspoon or syringe. Okay. So very small quantity. Start with 5 ml like that. Okay, very small quantity to start with. So wait for it. So you wait for if any child is vomiting or not. If the child is not vomiting, then you can increase the ml from 5 ml gradually to 10 ml, 15 ml like that. Okay. Start with very low amount. Okay. From 5 ml. So ORS preparation. So ORS contents preparation, how to give it, how to prevent the vomiting. Okay. Any other things? Need doubts, Pa? IMNC classifications, etiology of diarrhea, treatment of diarrhea, plan A, plan B, plan C, supplementary drugs, zinc, ORS, probiotics, complications of diarrhea. Anything left? Any doubts?
Sure. Normally, anti-motility agents like
So that is the point.
loperamide.
Okay. So loperamide and other things are contraindicated. Okay. At least up to 5 years. Generally, they will say in children it is contraindicated, but up to 5 years it is definitely contraindicated. There is no role at all. Okay. For any dysentery or any diarrhea, you should not give any anti-motility agents like loperamide. Okay. It is contraindicated. You should not give it. If you give it, it will arrest the motility, peristalsis, abdominal distension. So mother will happy. Okay, doctor, no stools at all after giving this drug, but it's all accumulation within the abdomen. So abdomen will be distended, peristalsis. Okay, that will prone for complications. Okay, so all anti-motility agents are contraindicated in children at least up to 5 years. In older children, it has a role, but it is after only discussion with the pediatrician only should give it. There is routinely should not prescribe these anti-motility agents in children. Okay. Anti-secretory agents. Anybody knows that anti-secretory agent? Raficadodril. Raficadodril. These all N-caffeinase inhibitors. These are all the available in market, not available in government sector, not routinely recommended by WHO or UNICEF or Government of India. Okay, it's available only private practice only. N-caffeinase. Some studies shows that raficadodril decrease the volume of stools in children in some study. Okay, not routinely recommended. So in OPD, you are practicing in clinic, the child presenting with diarrhea, the prescription should contain 3 drugs. What are all 3 drugs?
ORS, zinc, and probiotics.
Oh, good. Yes, ORS, zinc, probiotics. Very good. Okay. Antibiotics only for bloody diarrheas. Okay. Any doubts, Pa?
Sir, other than
IMNCA recommending this, you are having IMNCA book, right? You are all having IMNCA book. So what is Rizomol? What is Rizomol? They will ask in exams. What is Rizomol? RESOMOL. Rizomol.
For malnutrition child.
So rehydration solution for malnutrition. This is a homework for you. How do you prepare the Rizomol solution? Rehydration solution for malnourished children, SAM children. So the SAM children present with diarrhea is not the routine ORS we are giving. It is the prepared ORS. Okay, it's called Rizomol. Ready-made Rizomol available, or you have to prepare from the original low osmolality ORS. Also, you can prepare Rizomol. So homework, go and read how to prepare the Rizomol solution for malnourished children. Okay. What's your doubt, Ma? Doubt?
Sir, other than infectious causes, is there some other cause for diarrhea in children?
So that is a separate topic. The chronic diarrheas, other non-infectious diarrheas, systemic diseases presenting with diarrheas. That is huge topic. That is not for this. Okay.
Okay.
Your topic of interest today is acute diarrhea in children, IMNCA protocol. Okay. Any other
Okay, sir.
doubt?
So, is there any important points in history in the case presentation?
Pardon me?
So, are there like any important points in the history in the case presentation for this topic? So,
History is in any child present diarrhea.
no, are there any important points for the exam? So,
Exams, okay, that's all. This is the maximum they will ask. 2 ORS components, history in and all. That's all. This is only short case. Okay. So general examination, dehydration science, nothing. All we discussed already covered. Okay, in history, you ask diarrheal duration, acute onset, or duration of diarrhea, blood-stained stools, mucus stools, pain during defecation, fever, any history of abdominal distension, any history of irregular rhythm, heart irregularities palpated by the mother, or any history of loss of neck folding. These are all the manifestation of hypokalemia. Okay. Abdominal distension is due to paralytic ileus leads to abdominal distension. The history of abdominal distension is important. Then history of palpitations or irregular rhythm, heart rate, is due to hypokalemia. History of loss of head control due to hypokalemia, or history of seizures due to either metabolic complications like hyponatremia or hypoglycemia or hypokalemia. Then history of seizures due to cortical venous thrombosis. These are all the histories important in any child presenting. And then history of altered sensorium due to many metabolic complications in severe dehydration. The child will be irritable, drowsy, lethargy, or unconscious. Okay. Or any child presenting with cortical venous thrombosis, they will present with seizures in altered sensorium. So these are all the histories important for any child presenting with diarrhea. In exams, they will ask this question. So any history of sensorium alteration, probably maybe due to so many causes. One of the causes, Shigella encephalopathy also, you will present with encephalopathy. Okay. So history, examination science, treatment, plan A, plan B, plan C, ORS components, rhizomal components, zinc dose, zinc mechanism, probiotics. That's all. These are commonly asked exam questions in diarrhea. Then complications in diarrhea, bloody diarrhea, WHO recommendation, antibiotics, vaccinations, rotavirus, preventive strategies. Okay.
thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.